Hi, my name is Michael Fiorello. I'm here at Mercado La Plancha. Today I'm going to make for you some house-made lamb bacon. So to make the lamb bacon, we have a bunch of different spices that represent the area of Catalonia that we're going to make. We have whole black peppercorns, whole fennel seed. We have a hickory smoked powder, ground allspice, whole cinnamon sticks, and some whole star anise, as well as some thyme, rosemary, brown sugar, TCM or tinted curing mix, and kosher salt right there. And of course our lamb belly. For those of you who don't know what TCM is, TCM stands for tinted curing mix. What it is 94% salt and 6% sodium nitrate. And it's dyed red so that you don't accidentally use it as sugar or salt when you're seasoning your food. Otherwise, somebody could get very sick. So the first thing we're going to do is toast the spices for our spice mix. In a saute pan, I'm going to take some whole cinnamon stick, just break it up a little bit so it fits into the spice grinder. Take some whole fennel seed, whole black peppercorns, a few whole star anise pods, and a little bit of the ground allspice. And I'm going to saute that over high heat, just tossing until I start to smell the oils from the spices come out. It shouldn't take more than 3 or 4 minutes. But you don't want it to burn, so you got to keep it moving. You could also do this in the oven at about 400 degrees for 3 or 4 minutes if you wanted to. Okay? So right now, once that's toasted, I'm going to add that to my spice grinder. Carefully, hopefully trying not to make a mess. Okay, put the top on, grind away. So the spices are ground pretty coarsely. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take this large bowl, I'm going to take my brown sugar, and the ratio is 3 parts salt to 1 part sugar. My salt goes in. I'm going to add my tinted curing mix. See that really bright pink flavor, or pink color, I'm sorry. And that's going to go right in. Doesn't have to be chopped finely at all. I'm going to take some rosemary. Do the same thing, just run my knife right through it. And my hickory smoked powder. Mix everything real well together. Make sure you break up the brown sugar. You want to get it evenly dispersed throughout the entire cure. Immediately you can smell that hickory smoked powder. It's a pretty cool ingredient. It's actually natural hickory smoke that's been distilled and then spray dried onto a malt sugar base. Totally natural. It's not like the liquid smoke or stuff you buy in the supermarket. As a matter of fact, you can't buy this in the supermarket. Add my spice mix. It's okay if you have a few whole cinnamon sticks in there. There we go. All right. The lamb belly. Similar to a pork belly, except it comes from the lamb. It's much smaller. Okay, you can see it has a good amount of fat on top. Good amount of fat on bottom. So I've got my piece of cheesecloth. And I like to use the cheesecloth because it holds the cure directly against the meat, and you don't have to use too much cure. So I'll lay that over a 2-inch perforated hotel pan, okay, which allows any liquid from the lamb to be drained under, so it's not sitting in its own juice. I'll spread some of the cure right on the bottom. Spread that out nice and evenly. Okay. Take my lamb belly, lay that in there, and I'll just make it fit. If it's a little too long, just kind of squish it together. It's just fine. I'll pour more of the cure on top. Okay, take it from the sides. Make sure it's all covered really, really well. Okay, then I'll just fold everything over into a nice, neat little package. And this needs to sit refrigerated into the walk-in for 48 hours. And then it's ready to go. And you can slice it and cook it up and use it however you want. So after the lamb belly cures for 2 days, 48 hours, we rinse off the cure, dry it really well, and then wrap it in cheesecloth again, and then hang it in the walk-in to dry for at least 2 more days before we actually use the product. You can see what we have here. It looks just like your normal bacon. You look right at the side, you have the layers of meat and fat alternating. Nice, beautiful color. You can tell that it's shrunk quite a bit because it's desiccated. A lot of the liquid has been removed from the meat, and it's almost become a shelf-stable product. You can see a little bit of the remnants from the spice mix on top. It doesn't all get rinsed off, and that's perfectly fine, but the flavor has penetrated all the way through the meat. Now that we're ready, I'm going to slice up a few pieces and cook them up because I'm hungry and I'm ready to eat breakfast. You can slice them as thick or as thin as you want. I prefer thick sliced bacon. Okay, so we got 3 slices here. I'm going to go over here to my saute pan. Start it on medium heat. You don't even need to add any fat because a lot of that fat's going to start to render and actually become your cooking oil. This is a great alternative to those people who don't eat pork bacon for religious purposes or for health purposes. 100% American lamb. Alright, so that looks good. We'll take that over here. Now you got to give it a taste.
That looks yummy.
Really well balanced. It's salty. You taste all the spices that are in it. And it's really juicy. You want a try a piece?
Yes.